Okay, good evening once again. So right about now, I'll be sharing my screen, and if you can do so, you don't necessarily have to use your Kali for this one. You can just use your phone, or if you are with your laptop, it's fine. I will tell you the stage whereby we need to use our Kali. Now, you can use your phone to follow up. You can use your laptop to follow up. Whichever device you have with you is definitely fine by me. Now, we are talking about authentication from what you can see on the screen. I'm currently logged into my Portswigger account. You can do the same. Now, how do you get to this place? You get to this go to Academy. You can go to Academy. Under Academy, then when you navigate through the course progress, then you're going to see authentication. I think it should be the third one or the fourth one. And I told you the reason why I chose this one particularly to deal with today. Mind you, we are not going to dissect all the vulnerabilities. It is the list is just so much. Previous cohorts, we've always done something, and me reflecting on it, that's like a mistake. Not like it's like a mistake in a way. Yeah. What was the mistake? The mistake is, imagine you are treating all the vulnerabilities. Christiana can testify to this. We touched a lot of vulnerabilities, but what did we do? We just crashed them at the surface. We scratched them at the surface. Now, what happens eventually? What happens eventually is that you are going to finish the program, and you cannot, even if they tell you that there's a vulnerability, there's a vulnerability that's affecting a particular site, you might not really be able to exploit that one. So it's good we single out those popular ones, those ones that we know that there's every high chance that a website would face that one. We single them out, then we trash it properly. Good example is authentication. After that, we can also look at SQL injection. But for today, our main focus is authentication. Now, what is authentication? Please note there is a difference between authentication and authentication. That's going to be the next thing we'll talk about after this one. So let's talk about authentication right now. Authentication, let's break it down. Let's leave the grammar that is written on the screen. Authentic, or it's gotten from the word authentic. Now, let's add that ATE to make it a verb. Authenticate. What does it mean? It means we want to verify if the person that is coming in is the authentic user. That's basically what we want to do. We want to verify if the person that is coming in is the authentic user. Is that simple? The moment you can do it like that, you already know the meaning of authentication. Now, imagine when they now say authentication vulnerability. That means the vulnerability that's concerned with the process of verifying the identity of a user. That's simple. Now, like you can see on the screen, it says websites are potentially exposed to anyone who is connected to the internet. What they mean is, see Facebook, whether you have an account or you don't have an account, Facebook is there for everybody. Instagram is there for everybody. I can bring somebody now, and the person might not have an account. Just type www.facebook.com. You're already there. So now, that's the fact that it is exposed to everybody who is connected to the internet. It makes robust authentication mechanism integral to effective web security. Now, there are three main types of authentication. Something you know, that's something that you know you're which is password or whatever. Something you have, that's like a physical object. Then something you are to do. This one is like your biometrics or pattern of behavior. So if you are talking about authentication vulnerability, you are looking at 1, 2, or 3 of them. And most of the time, what we normally use to enter is what is something you know. Most of the time, is something you know. You don't talk about something you have, not something you have to do, unless if you want to steal the person's phone, you want to steal the person's laptop, which it's not the case. It's not the case most time. So most time the case is what? Something you know. Let's move on to the next slide. I'm going to call it slide here, but it's not slide in the real sense of it. So now, what's the difference between authentication and authorization? Like I said, authentication from the word authenticate. You want to know if that person is who they say they are. Look at what you have on the screen. Authentication is the process of verifying that a user is who they claim to be. Now, authorization. Let's break it down again. Break it down to authority. Now, what it means is that you are verifying whether that person is allowed to do something. Good. I have a Facebook account. I log into my Facebook account. The process of logging in is what? Authentication. That's after I've now logged in. Several questions come on board. Can I delete my profile picture? Good. Can I create a new profile picture? Yes, I can. Do I have, let me now use the familiar word. Do I have the authority to make a post? Yes, I can. Do I have the authority to delete a post? Yes, I can. Now, take note. For example, do I have the authority to delete another person's post? No, I don't have that authority. It means I'm not authorized to do such a thing. So it's very, very good you know the difference between authentication and authorization. I can do anything I want to do with my own account. I have the authority to do all those things. But now the question is, do I have the authority to do all those things on that person's account? No, I don't have the authority. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So now, they say, for example, authentication determines whether someone attempting to access a website with the username Carlos123, it's really the same person who created the account. Once Carlos is authenticated, their permissions determine what they are authorized to do. For example, they may be authorized to access personal information about other users, perform other actions such as deleting. For example, they may be authorized to access personal information about other users or perform actions such as deleting another user's account. That's in a situation where this person has like a very high authority, probably like an admin or what have you. So we move on to the next. How do authentication vulnerabilities arise? Authentication vulnerabilities arise. Now, before I proceed into this, I want to ask a question. And the question is, majority of cybersecurity attacks or vulnerability, where do they come from? Anybody? I need somebody to please help me answer that question. Majority of cybersecurity vulnerabilities could be web vulnerability, could be whatever vulnerability or cybersecurity attacks. Where do they come from? And what is that point? Okay, Ibrahim.
They mostly come from login credentials, like authentication credentials.
I agree with you, but at the same time, I will not agree with you because there is a particular answer I am looking for. If you say login credentials, it means if you don't have my login credentials, you can't definitely perform any attack. Let me hear from Michael, then Adesi. Michael, yeah.
All right. So I will just in line with Aliu. I will just say that it's more of authentication vulnerability that give rise to most of those attacks. My opinion.
Okay, nice one, nice opinion. Adesi, let me hear from you.
Okay, my own opinion is that it comes from human factor.
Oh my goodness, that's actually what I'm expecting. Human factor. Thank you very much. Now, despite the fact that some of us like we are correct here, Aliu, Michael, you guys correct answers, but then majority of cybersecurity attacks, majority of the attacks actually come from human factor, that's social engineering. If you that course that you did, that's one, the course you did on Cisco, they must have explained it. They must have explained social engineering to you, explained how it works. Now, how does it concern authentication vulnerability? Now, before I explain what you have on the screen, I need to know that, yes, good and fine. There might be authentication vulnerability. That's vulnerability during authentication process. But what's going to give you more information? The thing that's going to give you more information is the human person involved. So as I proceed, you're going to understand better. So now they say, how do authentication vulnerabilities, right? They say most vulnerability authentication mechanism occur in one of two ways. One, the authentication mechanisms are weak because they fail to adequately protect against brute force attack. We all know what brute force attack is. So let me assume. Let me ask somebody, please. What is brute force attack? What is brute force attack? Anybody? Okay, John.
It's just like they were trying to guess password, like guessing different password and keywords, trying to get access to a site or a platform.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much for that. So is correct. You don't know the password. You are basically forcing yourself in. How do you force yourself? You're not going to force yourself physically. You are going to force yourself using different ways. Take for example now, there's a keyhole. You cannot come and start. You don't know the exact key. So what do? You start forcing different keys. Start forcing different keys. So that's what they mean by, or that's what we mean by brute force attack. I don't want to relate it with dictionary attack, but they are similar. Based on the fact that you are trying so many entries. You are trying so many entries just to force your way in. Good. So the first point is authentication mechanisms are weak because they fail to adequately protect against brute force attack. Now, what that thing means is that, say I have a website. What kind of passwords do I allow? I now allow passwords like just letters of the alphabet. Let's say I'm the software guy. I'm the software engineer. I'm creating a site. And I then allow for just like the rules, just for you want to create a password. I just say, okay, only letters. You discover that kind of authentication mechanism, if I want to enter, that authentication mechanism is already weak, first of all. So now, for that kind of stuff, it will be very easy for me to force the login page. Okay. Now let's look at the second point. Second point says logic flaws or poor coding in implementation allow the authentication mechanism to be bypassed entirely by an attacker. This is sometimes called broken authentication. So yeah, now in many areas of web development, logic flaws cause the website to behave unexpectedly. It may or may not be a security issue. However, as authentication is so critical to security, it's very likely that flawed authentication logic exposes the website to security issues. That's what they're trying to explain. That's for the first point. No, sorry, the second point. So poor coding, logic flaws. Say the first thing you want to present to your users, give me your username and give me your password. After that, what is the next thing? Is it OTP? Will you ask them for OTP? You're not going to ask them for OTP. Are you just taking them straight to the site? So now, all those the logic that is behind that thing, if there is a mistake, they just know that it can lead to broken authentication, which is what authentication vulnerability. And let's go to the next. What is the impact? We all know the impact. It can be severe. When attackers should bypass authentication or forces their way into another user's account, they have access to all the data and functionality that the compromised account has. They're able to compromise a high privileged account, such as a system administrator. They could take full control over the entire application and potentially gain access to internal infrastructure. Before the end of today's class, we are going to do something practical. We are going to we are going to brute force a particular web application. You need to pay attention to the process. You need to pay attention to the process. If possible, when I get to that stage, I'm going to tell you, so if you can load up your Kali, load up your Bob. So you do it alongside me. It will be fine. Now somebody dropped a suggestion like last week class. The network made us change the pattern of the class, whereby I was not using my laptop. I was using another person's laptop. Just I was describing to the person. So the person suggested that she was able to learn better via that process. Although to me it was slower, but then I think I will still do the same thing today. I think that would be better. I already discussed it with Christian and she agreed to it. Okay, move to the next. Another impact. We already know the impact. When authentication is flawed, authentication means let's say my name is Jide. The system cannot verify if I am truly Jide. It means there's a problem. It means another person can pose as Jide and the person will have access to all my accounts, to all my information, I need to say. Yeah. Say I like using Facebook, for example, because it's one area or one place where most of all we dump all our information. Right from day one, I've never liked transforming. So we move to the next, which is what? Vulnerabilities in password-based login. Vulnerabilities in password-based login. I already said one. Before I explain what we have here, I already said one. If the logic or if the system allows for just letters, I'm sure you know the qualities of a good password. It should have letters, it should have numbers, it should have alphanumeric, or whatever. It should have special symbols and it should be long. Again. So imagine you are a software engineer. You created a site. Now you just allowed for only text-based password. Trust me, that is already that one alone. That one alone is already a vulnerability because you cannot like fight against it unless if there is multi-factor authentication. I don't know if you get me. Let me ask, please. What is the meaning of multi-factor authentication? Anybody? Not someone that has spoken before. I need a new person. Multi-factor authentication. Anybody? Okay, Wizard.
All right. Multi-factor authentication means whereby there are two or more process or two or more ways to verify if that person that is trying to like enter is the real person.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, thank you for that. It's actually correct. So let's break it down in normal way. He said two or more ways to verify, right? You got the idea from the word multi. When is it multinational? When is it multi? I've forgotten another multi. It's gonna come with that. But just know that multi-factor, but then authentication. We already know the meaning of authentication. Now multi-factor. So there are several ways. If ever ask you for your password, after your password, they ask you for OTP. After OTP, okay, let me use my own phone, for example, my own phone. Let's say I want to transact, OP. I think OP. First of all, before I want to log into the OP app, they would ask me for my password. Okay, it uses Face ID. That's like biometrics. That is stage one. When I want to transfer the money itself, they will still scan again. That's stage two. Then, if the money peradventure is big, maybe it's not what I transfer on a normal, they would ask me for what they ask me. Okay, they would still. I don't even like that example. That example is not ideal because of it's the same kind of authentication. It's just face. I need an example whereby, let's say the first stage is what password, then the next stage is the first stage is password, then the next stage is they ask you for your Face ID or use your fingerprint or one thing or the other. So that is multi-factor. So that's multi-factor authentication. Now let's move to what we have on the screen. Websites that adopt a password-based login process. Users either register for an account themselves or they are assigned an account by an administrator. These accounts are shared with a unique username and a secret password, which the user enters in the login form to authenticate. themselves. Before I proceed, I'll still ask another question. What is the method? Please answer you, Temi Tayo. Let me just quickly know why you are raising up your hand. Temi Tayo, why are you raising up your hand, please? You have a question.
No, sorry, it was a mistake. It was an old one. Thanks, sorry.
Okay.
That's all.
Yes, Sally, please. Sally, do you have a question? Sally, please, do you have a question? Sally doesn't have any question. Please put down your. I'm not sure it's even here. Okay, I was going to ask something. What is the method? What is the method that is used for? How do I ask this question? For a login page. Say you want to log in. There are different methods that we have, right? You can call it verbs. Some people call it verb. For me, I will decide to call it method. So we have the get method, we have the post method, we have the delete method, we have, and so on and so forth. What is the method? Take for example, for a login page, what's that method that you're looking for? Say you want to track your Bob suit or your HTTP history. What's the method that we are looking for? Anybody? Not you must have someone that is new, not someone that has spoken before. Anybody? Okay, Oludari. Oludari. Please speak. I can't hear you. I still can't hear you. You've unmuted yourself, but I can't hear you.
Neither can I. So let's try someone else.
Okay. Anybody? Question that is it hard? The question is not hard now. Dave.
Can
Okay, yeah,
we,
Dave.
like,
Where is Dave? Okay, Dave. Yeah, I can hear you.
You can use the post method to log in.
Yeah, thank you. That's exactly what I was asking for. Or that's what I was asking, post method. So let's proceed. You'll still see where we need it. So now, in this scenario, the fact that they know the secret password is taken as sufficient proof of the user's identity. That means the security of the website is compromised if an attacker is able to either obtain or guess the login credentials of another user. So this can be achieved in a number of ways. Let's continue. Now, brute force attack. Somebody already explained what brute force attack is, and I explained also. Now, it's simply when an attacker uses a system of trial and error to guess valid user credentials. These attacks are typically automated using word list of username and passwords. Automating this process, especially using dedicated tools, potentially enables an attacker to make vast number of login attempts at high speed. Now, they say brute force is not always just a case of making complete random guesses at username and passwords, but also using basic logic and publicly available knowledge. That is where human factor comes in. That thing Ade said. Human factor, that's where it comes in. So using publicly available knowledge, attackers can fine-tune brute force attacks to make much more educated guesses. Now I'm going to show you guys something. I need someone to load up his Kali. Load up your Kali. If you are there, just raise up your hand. I will show you how we are going to use like a system or an application to we're going to create a word list. We'll create a word list, but it's going to be educated. Say we want to hack Christiana. We want to guess whatever it is we want to guess via password. It does not make any sense when you are just saying, okay, let your word list, or you go and use rocku.txt. Please, before I'm going too far, while I ask this question, please, I need someone load up your Kali. Please be very sure you have a good network. I need to show you guys something. Anything practical, I'm not going to be doing it on my screen. You guys will be doing it so that you can learn better. Can someone tell me what rocku text file is? Rocku.txt, rocku text file. Can someone tell me what it is? Anybody?
Is a dictionary of passwords.
Yes, correct. It's a dictionary of passwords, or let me just say random passwords. So for most cases, you don't use it for when you are targeting a particular person. You need to have information about the person. Then you need to fine tune your own list. Don't just go and use a list whereby they've dumped passwords. There are, I think, is it 13 billion passwords there. But there's high tendency that when you use it, it may not even serve its purpose. I've used it for when I was trying to I said mistake. The point remains that you should not use, not like you should not use it, but then when you use it for say you want to attack somebody or one person, there's high chance that that thing would not work. Why? Random passwords are there. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Okay, please, anybody with his Kali, is our Kali. So let's quickly use a tool. There is a tool we are going to use, the CLI based tool.
Yes, my Kali is up. I don't know if I should share my screen.
Okay, yes, please. While you share your screen, I'm going to stop sharing mine. Please share your screen.
Okay. Okay, it's up.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Now, we are going to use a tool called Crunch. Crunch. The tool is called Crunch. Now, please, I need everybody to understand, first of all, understand what we are trying to do here. We want to create a word list, right? We are not going to use rocku.txt. Rocku.txt, like Aliyu explained. Rocku is a list of passwords. There are I've forgotten the number, but I think it's up to 13 billion. Sorry, let me just quickly check. Rocku. Okay. That's, yes, 14 million. Yes, 14 million. I was going to say 13 million. So 14 million. But I'm even telling you for certain, of that 14 million, your this thing might not be there. The password that you are looking for. Because what it's trying to do essentially is that you are taking one password, you are using that password to test a login page. Is it this password? Is it this password? Is it this password? Is it this password? Now, in a situation whereby it is not any of all those passwords, you're going to waste the whole time and no. So it's very good we make calculated guesses now. Yeah, thank you. I want to assume you've cleared all those things so as to make it faster. Okay, so open your listen. Now, if you want to know how to use some tools, let's say you are very, very new to, just press Crunch. Press Crunch. Crunch. No, I'm not done. You can press Crunch, then you press a space, then you press hyphen help. Let's say you want to just know how to use it.
Crunch.
Space hyphen help.
Help. Okay.
Press enter. Now calm down and no spoil your keyboard. So now that one alone will show you how. Will just show you. Okay, now you can see that usage is saying crunch, min, max, then options. Min, max is talking about the numbers. That's the minimum number, then max for maximum. That's maximum length for the password. Let's quickly do like one quick example. Do crunch. So let the minimum length of the word be 2. So write 2. I'm following exactly what was written on the screen there. It's not like I'm cramming anything. I didn't cram anything. It's already written on the screen. Crunch, min, max, then options. Space 4. That's the maximum number of stuffs on this maximum number of passwords it can generate. Not password per se. What was the word for it? List. Word list it can create is what? It's 4. Now, what's your name? Your name is Don Emerson, right? Let's use Don. So there's a space. DON. Then just put E for elephant.
Like I'll give space a bit now. All together.
No, you don't need space. You don't need space. It's together.
Okay.
Yeah, press enter. Let's see what it's going to do for us. It's creating it. Have you seen it? That's created a list for us. Can you scroll through? Let's see what that's created for us. Automatically, it's created. Now, you will notice that in this thing, done will be part of the stuff that's created. So it created something like from 2 towards to 4. That's the minimum is 2, the maximum is 4. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Don, do you understand what I'm explaining?
Yes, I understand. But at this point now, like the first from this point now where you have GG to this EE, this is about 2. This is the minimum here, right?
Yes.
While from this point now you have 3. I think the highest there is 4, which is the maximum.
Yes, it's 4. Yes,
it's 4.
Okay, good. Now,
like this point, now see this point now. From here now is 4. From this point
yes,
now,
it's 4.
Down is 4. The
Yes.
thing generated 2 first, then 3, then the last one 4.
Yes. Okay, now see what we are going to do. You would quickly navigate to rocku.txt. Go to check where you are. Yes, press PWD. Let's quickly go to rocku.txt. Then we're going to unzip it. Then we are going to see it's going to be a lot. Okay, just for the sake of this class, you see the 14 million passwords there. Go back. See the dot. Go back again. Press list ls. Can you see user there? User USR. USR should be there. I miss this thing you've written. I miss this thing, these options.
There's no USR. Okay, yeah. This is it. I've seen it. This is it.
Good. So see the USR. That's going to that USR folder.
Enter.
Yes, enter, definitely. So what are you looking for? You're looking for okay, right? Press ls now. Let's see what's there. Go to share.
Share CD. Share.
LS. List it out. I'm not going to be telling you the commands to use. I'll just be telling you what to do. List it out. So we are looking for word lists. Locate word list and go to word list. I think I can see word list. It's arranged alphabetically. So go to word list.
Okay, this is word list here.
Yes. See the word list.
All right, I'm on word list now.
Yeah, list it out now. Let's see what's there. Because RockU comes pre-installed. It comes with every Kali machine. Now, can you see that RockU.txt.gz? Press list it all. Do long listing. Then it's going to list it all. Let me see if you've been following the class. Perform like a long listing, and it's going to list it all.
Sorry, what was the command again for long listing?
Just LSLE. You've not been coming to class, have you? LSLE.
Cannot access.
Oga put hyphen.
Oops.
Guy, don't. Where are you from? LS-LE.
Is it LE or LA?
I shouldn't be telling you, but it's LA. A for Apple.
Yeah, I've done that now. LS hyphen. One hyphen.
Not hyphen. Yes, one hyphen.
How is it now? LA. This is it. This was the
There
first
shouldn't
one I
be a
used.
space. There shouldn't be a space between your hyphen and your LA.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, look at that RockU.txt, because RockU.txt.gz. I need another person to tell me the meaning of that .gz that is that extension that is there. First of all, the person will tell me the meaning of the .txt that is there, and the person will tell me the meaning of the .gz that is at the end. What does it mean? Anybody, not you, Don, another person. Big wheels. Let me hear from you.
The txt is saying it is a text file, while the .gz means it is encrypted in this GZ format.
Okay, yeah, good, thank you. Or we can say the file is compressed in GZ format. You might not necessarily use the word encrypted. Just say it's compressed in GZ format. So what we need to do is what? We need to extract it. But you might not really go through all those ones for now. Okay, now there's another reason why I say you should long list it and you should list all. Now, if you notice that owners group and others, we say that what is just read and write. You have the permission to. Then others, then group can read. Then others can also read. Now, to operate on this stuff, what you'd kindly do is you can press sudo. Sudo means it's going to ask you for your password. You want to elevate to root level. You press sudo, then you press the what should we use to? We use 7. Press sudo space 7z space plus x space rocky.txt.gz. No, X for xylophone.
Okay.
Space rocky.txt.gz. We want to unzip that guy. Now everybody, it's not compulsory to use 7Z. 7Z is a tool. You can use any tool you want to use. You can use gzip. You can use any tool. It's not compulsory to use the tool that I'm using. It's not compulsory to use that. I've used 7Z before and it did a very sweet job for me. I'm sure when you were doing this assignment I gave you on John, remind me that assignment that you were unzipping up and down. Let me know if you are doing assignment. There's a particular assignment that you guys were unzipping.
Is it the one we did with the cyber talent?
Yes. Correct. It's the one you did with cyber talent. I think the name is Bash 101. If I'm not, no, Linux CMD 101. Yes. So, press enter. Should prompt you for a password. Yes, put your password there. Most likely, Kali. Oh, unsupported command. Okay, repeat that command. Instead of +X, just use ordinary X. Just press your arrow up arrow. Remove that plus. Press the left side, yes. Remove that plus. No, it's the plus you have to remove. Yes. Press enter. Just press enter from there. Okay, it has done. Now, by the time it finishes unzipping it, just press, when it finishes, just press LS. I'll show you guys. Okay, now press LS so that we can see that RockQ is actually here, and RockQ is a by default combination of like a list of 14 million passwords. So if you want to perform any authentication, if you want to perform any brute force attack, your first thought should go to where? Should go to RockQ. But if you know that you are targeting, there's no case whereby you're targeting a person. We are actually building you guys to become what? I don't even know what we are training right now. Okay, but the point is that I'm going to say it we are looking at it from the perspective of an attacker. That's we are the attackers. Do you get? That's the perspective we are looking at it from. So now, you want to view that thing. So you know what to use to view now. View that RockQ file. Let's see. Don, are you there? Just use cats. Use cats to view it. Cats, RockQ.txt. You can press hyphen now, Abi. Tab is going to take you to the end.
It didn't pop up.
Don't worry, just continue. No, not .gz. No, not .gz. No. You've already unzipped it, so you don't need the .gz there again. Can you see that file that is written with white, with that white one?
Just dot.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Which one? Sorry.
The file we want to cut is that RockQ.txt. The one beside RockQ.txt.gz. That white one.
Okay.
Exactly. So no need to copy it. You are good. You've typed it well.
No, I know.
So just press enter. Press enter. It's going to list out 14. It will keep going because of what? It's 14 million. So now that we have done this, let's go away from this. So you can stop sharing your screen. Thank you very much. But don't please still stay on this thing while we go away. While I share my own screen now, you can close up all these things here. Close it up, then open your Kali. No, don't open your Kali. I may do this one myself, but just close it up. Let me share my screen. Thank you very much. It's going to list this. It's going to keep listing all the passwords. Yeah. You can always transfer that file to your MS Word, just to your Windows computer to have like a comprehensive view of it. Thank you, Don.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So let's continue from where we stopped. So that was just like a brief practical on the usage of Crunch to what? Crunch to to create our own word list. If we don't want to use rocky.txt, we want to use our own word list. So now we already know what brute force attack is. Now let's proceed. Brute forcing usernames.
So sorry, a minute. So it keeps generating till it gets to that 4 million.
No, you don't get. Yeah, it's not generating it. It is cat means you want to view what is there. Just like now, you are using Microsoft Word to view something. Microsoft Word is a very powerful tool. It's going to just open everything once. But take for example, you are using a tool that is not going to show you everything once. It will be showing just like you have a dictionary now, that you have a normal dictionary, Oxford dictionary now. You now use Microsoft Word to open it. Microsoft Word is now opening it page by page, page by page. That's what you are seeing there. That is opening it small. Ordinarily, it's meant to open everything like once for you. So if you open such a file with Microsoft Word on your Windows, you see that it's going to open everything once for you. You get done. Do you understand that?
Okay, sir. Yes, I understand.
So let's proceed here. So one of brute force username, that's what is telling us. And we already know the meaning of brute force. So we can read through what's here. They said usernames are especially easy to guess if they conform to a recognizable pattern, such as an email address. For example, let me ask somebody that is working in a company. Anybody here that is working in a company, can you tell me the format? Can you don't look at what's on the screen? Just tell me the format of your company mail. Tell me the format of your company mail, and I'll tell you the format of my own company mail, and we are going to draw a conclusion here. Anybody working in a company? Anybody working in a company? I'm no company person here. All of them are the fine work. Okay, Jade, Jadi. Jade, Jadi. Please start by correcting me. She's not there.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello?
now I can hear you.
Yeah, it's Jade, not Jadi.
Okay, Jade. So
Yeah,
you're not looking for work like us.
Okay, to your question, my home company email is my name, my first name dot my last name, then at the company's name.com.
Tell us your name and your last name now. Tell us in case there are some guys here that are interested in knowing that.
Okay, mine is banker.akomlave@accretelimited.com.
Okay. Thank you. Now mine is Boniface dot. If you are with me on LinkedIn, you already know my surname. At my company dot com, like she said. Or the here. Now there's a similarity between our company mails. So it's simple. All you need to know is what? Know our name, know our last name. That's our first name. That's the normal name that they call her outside. And our last name, that's our surname. Know the company that she's working. You already know her username for like most professional platforms. I don't mean like Facebook. She's obviously not going to use it for Facebook. But where do they use company mails? I don't really like using my company mail for anything because, to be honest, I don't like the way this stuff is recorded. There are some things I can't read. Okay, so let's leave that. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Jade. Just corrected me now. Jade. Okay. Moving forward. So that's already giving like a format to most professional like username on a professional platform or more professional platforms. People tend to use that pattern, so it goes that way. Okay. So let's leave this and move on to the next. Brute forcing passwords. Passwords, the same way you can brute force this thing, you can also brute force password. So now, the difficulty is in the strength of the password. So many websites adopt some form of password policy which forces users to create high entropy passwords that are theoretically at least harder to crack using brute force alone. What they mean is that most websites, they will tell you a minimum of whatever number of characters. They'll tell you mixture of lowercase and uppercase. They will tell you at least one special character. Yes, I didn't take my time to explain Crunch 2 so well, but the point remains that using Crunch 2, you can create as many as you want, as complex as you want, as simple as you want, as whatever it is as you want. You can use it to create, just that you have plenty, a good number of passwords generated for you. So, brute force will continue. Now, while high entropy passwords are difficult for computers alone to crack, we can use basic knowledge of human behavior to exploit vulnerabilities that users unwittingly introduce to the system. Rather than creating a strong password with a random combination of characters, users often take a password that they can remember and try to do some one or two fittings. For example, my password. Let's say my password, MYPASSWORD, is not allowed. Somebody can try to put, you can see what I have on the screen, my password. That they are going to add some stuff to it. Let me give you a typical example. Let me use myself. There used to be times where I was creating accounts. Now, what will I do to make it? I'll just let's say my confirmation name is Dominic. So now, if I want to put DOMINIC, the most platforms will not allow me to put that kind of password. What do I do? D, instead of O, I will now put 0. M, instead of I will now put 1. I don't know if that's making any sense. Now, N, then instead of IC, that's next I will now put what? Apostrophe. Is it apostrophe? Exclamation mark. Can you imagine? I think it's exclamation mark. That one that is long and it has a dot. Exclamation mark, yes, to exclaim. I will now put that. So that if someone can use that thing to guess that okay, something like this can be done. So if somebody wants to like attack me, if you want to create your stuff without using Crunch 2, you want to create it manually, it doesn't make sense to do that anyways. But let's just say you want to do that. You can try Boniface. You can try B, then O, you know the crafting, like what you can see on the screen. You craft it that way, then you try. So that's just that on that. Now, enumeration. Username enumeration is when an attacker is able to observe changes in the website behavior in order to identify whether a given username is valid. Take for example, I'll use this thing. I'll use password to explain that one better, so you understand that one better. Now, when you are looking for status code, that's return code. Now, during a brute force attack, a return HTTP status code. Okay, let me go back to that enumeration. Now let's continue with this. A return HTTP status code. Status code is what I mean by 100 series, 200 series, 300, 400, and 500 series. You already know what they mean now. Yeah. The one that we see most of the time is what 200 series, which is what success. Now, the vast majority of guesses, because most of them will be wrong. If a guess returns a different status code, this is a strong indication that the username was correct. Another one is what is password, is error messages. So now we are going to delve into this one. We are going to go into this lab. Now, done. I've changed my mind again. I'm not going to be using my own system. We are going to be using yours. So we're going to go like on a short break now. Christiana, please. I don't know if the attendance stuff is open. If it's open, please. If it's not open, please open it so that they can take their. So now when we come back, we are going to delve straight into this one. You will see how we are going to perform a brute force attack to a particular website. And trust me, you can use this thing basically any website. I will tell you why you cannot use it for some websites. I will tell you the reason why. So let's go on short break.